Hi everyone, I have a review and demo for you today of the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, and the shade I have is in 102 Fair Porcelain. I am, in MAC terms, kind of NC5 to NC10. Usually the lightest color in most shade ranges is not light enough for me. My face is quite a bit darker due to freckles, redness, that kind of thing. But I try to get something that's a little closer to my neck, my hands, which are covered in swatches, and my chest. So I do go lighter on my face to try to even things out and match consistently, because if I'm not going to wear any foundation, then I'm fine with my face being darker. But if I am going to put color on it, it's just going to exaggerate that difference in tone if I don't go lighter on my face. I will link my foundation playlist, which has a whole bunch of reviews and like get ready with me type videos that have, you know, notable foundations. I also have foundation swatch videos, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, links will be below, and also subscribe because I do a lot of foundation related videos. I also will insert a clip of some other foundation swatches in comparison to this one. Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage in 102 Fair Porcelain, Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 102 Fair Porcelain, Fenty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte in 100, Cover FX in Natural Finish Foundation in N0, L'Oreal True Match in W1, Model's Own Runway Foundation in Porcelain, Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation in L41, MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC10, Marc Jacobs Genius Gel Foundation in 10 Ivory Light, and Too Faced Born This Way in Swan, the lightest shade. So a little bit about my skin type. Right now it's fairly dry. I have a little bit of oil coming through on part of my nose and part of my chin, a little bit on my forehead by the very end of the day. But that is pretty unusual for me. It's just because I'm pregnant that my skin is so dry, and it will likely go back to being more oily in the T-zone after I have the baby. But where I am right now is quite dry. It's also the winter, so that's also, you know, I'm sure accentuating the dryness. But so I kind of get to test it in a couple different, pretty different skin type scenarios. So I may do like a follow-up, but this is a review when it's on dry skin. So I have found that as long as I prep my skin well, either I use skincare that gets my skin ready to go, or I use lighter skincare and then some hydrating primers, I'm able to wear this. I won't set it with a powder because that will definitely make it look too dry. It will last a good 10-12 hours on my face. It doesn't break down in weird ways. A lot of times if something's going to break down in a funny way, it's going to be on my chin and it will start to separate, kind of look like it's like bumpy and weird, and I don't find that that does that to me. So now that it is fully on, I did go a little bit heavier on the coverage than I usually do. Not trying to do full coverage, but more of like a solid medium coverage. So we can zoom in and look to see how it's sitting. So it is settling a little bit into my lines right here, which a lot of things do, and it also kind of depends if I used a primer, what skincare I used underneath. You can see on this blemish, I did try to build it up a little bit. So it's kind of taken back the redness, but it's not totally gone. I also have this mark from a blemish that's very, very slowly fading. That kind of problem area up here, see how it's sitting? I have kind of a funky texture. If I don't put like a smoothing primer up here, foundation tends to sit really strangely, but I also have my hair over that part of my face most of the time. But right now it doesn't look terribly matte, and it's still a little tacky, but the skincare I'm wearing underneath today also is pretty tacky. So it's been about 8 hours since I put this foundation on, so I thought I would just kind of check in real quick before I take my makeup off. Normally I wear it for much longer, but since I put it on in the afternoon, so you can see it's definitely kind of cakey looking around here and here. Those are places that tends to happen for me. That can be helped with for me for like skincare, or the right primer underneath can help that. I use some different skincare today than I normally do. It doesn't seem like it's really super crazy high coverage. It does have more coverage than other things I have in my collection, but it also, I don't think it would be like that full-on intense extreme coverage. So that's something to note. It seems to do okay on my face if I try to layer it up a little bit. Generally, I wear from light to medium coverage. This is about the most coverage that I wear ever. I'm not looking to cover freckles. I'm just looking to even out my face and kind of give me an even canvas that meshes well with the rest of my body, basically. And the color I feel like is okay for me. Undertone wise, it's not my favorite. NARS Sheer Glow in Siberia is kind of a really great undertone match for me, in that it takes down the redness really well, and I think it kind of goes with the very like subtle cool yellow undertones that I have on the rest of my body. It's a tiny bit dark, but it's also just about the only thing out there that really has those kind of rich yellow tones at the very fair end of the scale. We can see now from these swatches that it's interesting because the Superstay here and the same color number in Matte and Poreless don't look the same. This one seems a little bit more peach on me now that it's fully dried down. Some of these swatches are still slowly drying. The NC10 of from MAC Studio Fix is actually one of the more interesting color tones, along with the Kat Von D Locket and L41. That's just a very gray, kind of cool gray undertone, along with the pinks. So yeah, it's not as fair as I was expecting. Once it's dried down, it is kind of peachy. Warmer colors just work better on my face. So the peachy tone, kind of slightly peachy tone, but still quite fair. It works for me. It's fine. It's not a perfect match, but it's totally doable, as you can see. And I don't find it like super drying. It's kind of similar to the Fenty. I think the Fenty looks a little bit nicer, perhaps. I don't know. I like it fine. I wear it. I like to wear it. It's fine. I feel like it's a decent option. I had a horrendous time finding this. It just wasn't in store anywhere like when I was looking for it for the past like 3 or 4 weeks. I think it's finally slowly trickling into stores now, but I did end up just purchasing it online from Target. Ulta has been carrying it online for a long time, and I think they're now just showing up in Ulta stores. I think the display was out when I was there last weekend. So if you're looking to see it in store, I would check Ulta. It might be worth calling them, because even 2 or 3 weeks ago it said it was in stock at my store, but they hadn't actually put the display out, so you couldn't buy it. So there is that. So I do have difficulties finding foundations that I feel like are really good matches, and this one falls into the bucket of it's okay. It's definitely not too dark where I feel like I have to lighten it, so I appreciate that. I do, since I am a little bit more flexible on coverage, and I have the freckles and everything, I feel like it's easier for me to kind of make something work, just because my face is already a little bit darker. I'll just go kind of sheer around my jawline and it all kind of works together. It doesn't seem weird to have my face slightly darker. If you're totally porcelain, no freckles, no redness, no nothing, then it might be harder to kind of cheat the color that way. And also if you're going for a full coverage look, then it's a lot harder to also hide color differences unless you go all the way down to every exposed bit of skin. But anyway, that's, I think, all I have to say about this foundation. I would recommend it. You know, I would wait for a sale, coupon, etc. But I feel like it's nice enough. It's good to see drugstore foundations that are catering to the more very fair population. I still don't think that this is gonna really suit the needs of the fairest of the fair. But there you go. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, etc. below. If you like my videos, if you want to see more foundation type stuff, then subscribe, and that way you'll know when I have new videos. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you soon.